Uh. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to this painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting this Heroes Infinite Khan Leth Stinger Lord from the Arcadian Elves range of miniatures. This miniature would make an amazing proxy for their Striking Scorpions Phoenix Lord, Corandres the Shadow Hunter. I'll leave links to Heroes Infinite's My Mini Factory and Patreon in the links below. So let's get our paints and paintbrushes and let's get ready to work on this amazing model. I'm going to start off with my usual Zenithal Prime with white ink and black primer underneath. And when the Zenithal has dried, I'm going to come in with an overall base coat with P3's Iosin Green. And I'm going to airbrush this all over the model. I'm going to airbrush a top-down highlight, my first highlight, with a mixture of 50-50 Iosin Green and Necrotite Green, both P3 paints. Now that the airbrushing stage is done, I'm going to come in and do an oil wash with Ivory Black from Winsor & Newton. I'm going to come in and lather this all over the model. I'm going to make sure all areas are covered, especially deep in the recesses. And I'll give it about an hour to 2 hours to dry up a bit, and then I'm going to come in with my Q-tips and sponges to wipe off the excess, leaving as much of the ivory black in the recesses and cracks. Now to paint all the yellow sections of the model. I'm going to go ahead and base coat them all in white. And then I'm going to come in with contrast paint, Imperial Fist Yellow, and paint that over all the areas I want to have yellow. For all the weapons the model's carrying, I'm going to have them made in a bone-like material. So I base coated it back up with white, and then came back in with contrast paint, Skeleton Horde, and painted that over all the bone areas. And in the most deepest recesses I did a second coat. I had also used Skeleton Horde to do a wash over the yellow areas. This was thinned down very slightly with water. Now for long flowing hair. I've tidied it back up with a bit of black, any black will do, and then I'm going to come in and do a dry brush with Nimbus Grey from Joe Saunders. This dry brush will be quite heavy because I'm going to come back in and do a wash of null oil after that it has dried. I wasn't happy with the brightness and transitions on the armor, so I came in and started doing a glaze with a 50-50 mix of Iosin Green and Necrotite Green. I'll be focusing this on the raised surfaces and sharper points of the model. Each glaze layer took about 2 coats, and it took me about 4 layers till I was happy with the color. And now to start highlighting the yellow. I'm going to go with light yellow from Joe Saunders. And I'm going to start picking out all the top surfaces and edges of the yellow areas. This unfortunately will take quite a few coats because yellow is very thin color. Also, while painting the yellow armor, I decided all the beads and decoration in the model's hair I'm going to also pick out in yellow. To start highlighting the bone weapons on the model, I'm going to come in with Screaming Skull from GW and start layering this up on the top surfaces. This took about 2 coats to get a solid color. For the sharp edges and edge highlights for the bone, I'm going to mix 50-50 Screaming Skull GW and Sickly Skin from P3. And I'm going to edge highlight this over all the bone details. This also includes the one on the base. For my final highlight on the yellow, I'm going to mix Screaming Skull and light yellow 50-50 together, which will give me this really pale bony yellow. And I'm going to use this to paint all the edges and sharp points of all the yellow details, just to bring them up just a slight amount. To finish off the hair and to bring the highlight back up again, I'm going to go back with Nimbus Grey from Joe Saunders. And I'm going to pick out all the upper strands of the hair. This model has really thick strands, so it's very easy to pick them out. And for the final detail on the model itself, I'm going to be painting all the gems. I base coated it up with Sickly Skin from P3, and I'm going to paint over all the Sickly Skin areas with Bile Red contrast paint. For the base, I'm just going to use Astral Granite texture paste from GW. I'm going to spread this over the entire base, and I'm also going to try and cover a little bit of the bone details that are coming off the model, to make it look like it's sunken in and is part of the scene. Be careful when applying this so you don't get any of the texture paste on the model itself. And while the material was drying, I just added a few little rock bits to give it a bit of extra texture. And once the basing texture is dried, I'm going to come in and do a wash of no oil, including on the rocks. And then I'm going to dry brush it with Nimbus Grey. Paint the rim black and you're done. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and leave a comment below, letting me know what you thought of this video or what topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Your feedback is important to me and helps me create better content. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to reach out in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.